No undies. Both my pars, both trout fishermen, all East Victoria and southern New South Wales, fishing the lakes, and so sort of, straight into trout was the starting point. Fishing creeks and fishing Lake Yukonbean and Jindabyne as a kid, and that's where it all sort of started. I'd been in the Territory, and then both myself and Sibby had travelled down the middle, and sort of thought I hadn't done WA and wanted to have a good look around, and heard a lot about just Exmouth itself, and I was sort of like, oh, it's got to be too good to be true, guys catching stuff out of tinnies, sailfish, black marlin, and I was like, nah. Rolled up here and with a 4.2 metre tinny and caught sailfish and black marlin and GTs off the back of the reef, and I just couldn't believe that there was no one here actually sports fishing. So it was that's where it sort of all kicked off for me, in the way of like, this is just untapped. with the charter, and I was surprised that no one was doing it to start with. And then there was a couple of guys, and one fella that was pretty half-assed, and a lot of bottom fishermen and guys having a crack, but there was sports fishing on tap, and no one with a proper sports fishing boat actually tapping into it that could access it and fish it properly. So that was the first thing for me, was to find a boat that could do what I wanted to do with it. And came across the Contender, and we went and had a look at one, and then was like, oh yeah, and then found out how much the thing was actually worth. It was a lot more than what the budget was sort of or what Sibby was going to let me actually spend on a boat. So, but then after a bit of persuasion, and that was the one I was set on. I always liked catching billfish, but I probably wasn't the best person catching billfish, and I could certainly find GTs and catch GTs, and I found them coming across as a sports fisherman and finding they weren't like the hardest thing in the planet to find and fish for, and we certainly gave them a fair touch up. But moving on, and then in my own time, and when I had days off and I wasn't fishing, I didn't want to obviously go and hammer what I had for my charters. I was fishing for marlin and trying to get better at catching them, and there's a big thing with a couple of mates. We just, every weekend, if I didn't have a charter, we were trying to catch billfish, and then it just moved on to blue marlin, and then the addiction sort of started from there. It was I wasn't catching them to start with, that's for sure. But lots of days going out catching none from 8, none from 4, none from 5, and figuring out why you're not catching them, and that really, that's what I guess sparks just wanted to catch them better. I used to fish a lot, just lures, and used to catch them, at the start. I wasn't catching them, and then we were catching pretty good on lures, up to nearly 80% strike rate from on bites to catching. And then as it progressed, and getting the new boat and having fishing with clients and getting them more involved, is where we've moved on to bait and switch, where it's the angler catching the fish. He's just not sitting in the chair and bang, rod goes off and you either got him on or you don't. It's a lot more visual, tease the fish in. Angler has to catch him.
You've caught the first 1,000-pound blue in Australia, and what sort of next in that? What do you want to do now?
Catch another one. Catch another 10. So, but no, that's sort of obviously catching them, and then it was the hunt, and obviously losing my fair share of big fish over the years, and learning from every big one that absolutely stuffed me over. Learned from that, and that fish was everything that I could, if I could write it down, and we talked about it over a lot of runs, and fish that we'd lost and how you could have done it better or had a better opportunity. And if we could have written it out, that fish and that day being flat, hooking the fish in the morning, having plenty of time, and the fish played the game too, plus having an angler that could actually stand there for 3 hours and crank on it. Especially doing it stand up was a massive thing for Clay. Just want to catch more than anybody else out there. We make all their own wind-ons, rig every lure from top to bottom. Everything's the boys that I've got working with me, Riley and Wes. They've been with me for a long time now. Riley's been working with me since he's 11. He's now 12, and now he's 18. And Wes has been fishing every heavy tackle season for the last 5 years, and he's just as passionate about, if it comes from catching a blue marlin to catching a little fish, being a spango, it's he's got the same mentality. Yeah, it is a hard thing now finding gear that's on the market that stands up for the stuff that we do day in, day out. That's a big thing. It is, being hooks to lures to anything we do, from catching a blue marlin to a spango. It's just the environment it's in. I get given a fair bit of gear to test and try and put through its paces, and it's something that the Halco product is it, be it from mackerel to gets walloped 10 times in the morning fishing for Spaniards, and I'll put it straight back out and it swims straight, or a stick bait thrown on Spaniards and you're catching handfuls after handfuls of mackerel. They're not punching holes in it, which is a big thing when I'm not there retying lures on guys' rods, and they just keep casting, keep catching, which is a massive thing for us.